don't think that's supposed to work like that, do you? Nope. Gotta do something about this. Hey there. So a week or so ago, I decided I was going to change my window motor on my driver's door. Well, as some car projects go, one project turned into several, and I killed a whole bunch of birds with one stone. So this video, I'm not going to actually show how to take the door panel off. I'm going to refer you to a video up here, or here, somewhere up here. That I've already released that explains that, and I just broke valve separate because I'm doing a whole bunch of different jobs inside the door, and I don't want people to have to sit through a bunch of content that's not relevant to them to see what they are actually trying to accomplish. So anyway, if you need to go check out the door panel video, there'll be a link down in the description as well. So let's get to changing door motor on the 96 Thunderbird. The same method should work on most Fords of Air. Let's get in here, see if we can't figure out what's gone wrong. Now, I have had these replaced before. Where is the motor on this thing? Not right there. Must be to the power box. What in the devil? Alright, so I found the window motor, and the best way to access it is to remove the speaker. So going through the speaker holes tends to be the way to go. While I'm on my way to get a nut driver and such, the window motor is held on by 4 bolts. Alright, so I picked up a couple nut drivers to take this motor out. There are 3 screws holding it in, and it ended up taking a 5/16 nut driver to get it out. I probably ought to go ahead and get me a set of metric nut drivers, just because I'm sure that's what I should really be using for this. Also, if you may have noticed, the audio is a little off. I got 2 primary cameras I use. One of them, the microphone comes on automatically. However, the one I'm using here, you have to turn it on manually, and well, I kind of forgot to turn the on switch on, so I'm having to voice over for this part a little bit, but nonetheless, take those 3 screws out. Like I said, I'm using a 5/16 nut driver. If I'd really been thinking about it, I would have gotten my drill out and gotten them out that way, but heck, these manual nut drivers did just fine. Now let's see what I'm reaching for. And here comes the motor out. And I'm going to have to unplug a wire here in a second, I imagine. What you doing, Aaron? Alright, so we got it unplugged. Now, one thing I'm a little concerned about here is the fact that the window wasn't going up and down. I could still hear the motor running, so I'm a little concerned that at this point that I might have a tooth in the mechanism that's gone away, or that there may be some other kind of problem. But just reach in there, see if I feel anything that feels off on any of the teeth inside the door. gonna mess up the height of a glass manually for a minute and see if I can't feel anything that shouldn't be like it is. Just doing my due diligence and research because I don't want to do this any more than I have to. I'm also examining how this motor is put together. Alright, so my curiosity is up a little bit on this window motor, because before I had it in the car and I could hear it running, but the window didn't go up and down, so I'm just a little perplexed as to why. So I'm going to try something real quick. Alright, to perform this test, I got a couple little wires jammed in the connectors. I'm just going to touch them on the battery. And polarity really doesn't matter for this, because to make the window go up, the polarity is done one way. Make it go down, it goes another. So that does concern me. Alright, so this time I'm going to try putting a little bit of a load on this. I really should use vice grips. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to see what it does under a load. So now I've got some vice grips on the gear. Not too tight, but tight enough. And we'll see what happens. Alright. So it gets any kind of load, and it's just spinning on the shaft. Which is exactly what the window was doing in the car. Alright, so I went ahead and I took the cover off here to look inside. And this is what we got going on. This plastic right here, these are just chunks of plastic inside the motor that have just come off this wheel. So I really honestly wish I knew what brand this was, because I would tell y'all to stay away from it, because like I said, this was not very old, and I'm not sure what happened here, but this is just very poor quality. So anyway, I just hope the replacement I got it in the same brand. Just have to see if I can make out anything on that sticker. Alright, so what I got this time is the Ultra Power window motor, and it's obviously not exactly the same as the one that I'm replacing, which is kind of a good thing, because I just remarked about how I was not impressed with the quality of that one. However, all this up here is metal. On the other one, this one's plastic. So I'm a little apprehensive. Just looking at this, it appears to be a one-size-fits-all Ford motor. Like they may use that in a Taurus, Crown Vic, F-150. And it's giving me a variety of pigtails here. So, next thing I reckon is I gotta figure out which one I use. Well, somebody help me understand what... So evidently there's one wire that comes out. And then I got 3 adapters, so it can be used on multiple different vehicles. I guess it makes smart business sense, I don't know. But anyway, need something to cut with. And I need to get this back in. Garbage trucks here, forgive the noise. So I got lucky. I went to compare and try it out. And the pigtail that goes straight into the motor actually has the correct adapter for this car without me having to use one of those pigtail adapters. So, one small victory for Two Labs Garage. Nelly, I love you. Sometimes when I say that, I don't know if I'm reminding her or reminding myself. Ah! I'll have free hands of very jeez. Anyway, because it's a plastic case, I reckon they give you these much more aggressive screws to put in and grab the plastic. Alright, so I got that one. This should make it easier to do the other ones. When you work on a car, you never know what tools you'll be using. A little rusty tent stake, all things. It was just what I needed. Had to fish a bolt out of the door. That's now a tip I shared in a previous video that I'm using again today, and y'all might find helpful, especially if you didn't see on the other video, is if you are trying to put a bolt in and you keep dropping it, or it's one that's hard to get to, whatever, in the end of your wrench or nut driver or whatever, take some regular old painter's tape and take the bolt of the screw in, and that will hold it on there. But it's also, the painter's tape has a weak enough bond that once you get it in there, you won't have any trouble breaking it loose. Alright, so see, it's broken off. Now, just to get my tool back, let's peel the painter's tape off. It's made for this. Well, it's made to release quickly, I guess I should say. Voila. Little hack for you. Alright, so I got the motor anchored up, plugged in, and it would make sense if I said, hey, I'm ready to go now. Not so quick. I remember the last few times this door was working, it sounded like it was really loaded up. And we also saw I have a bunch of busted plastic gears. And I really don't want to go through this again, at least not anytime soon. So, you gotta remember, car's 26 years old. Never designed to last this long. So, you got your scissors mechanism right here. There's a pivot point in the center. So I'm going to oil that up good. Now you can use PV Blaster, WD-40, a lot of things you can use. Transmission fluid. This is used motor oil, and you'd be surprised how good it works. Anyway, I'm just squirting some used motor oil over that pivot point and the scissors mechanism. Now, inside the felts, oh yeah, that's right, forgot about that. So for inside the felts, down here with the door, I use a silicone lube. I've got a can of it around here somewhere. I gotta go find it, put my hands on it. For the rollers themselves, to put some white lithium on. I chose to just spray the white lithium because I know it'll get on there and some of that. Now, as for the tracks themselves, what I have used in the past when I've done these, mind you, this is the first time I've done it on this car. Felt like my parents' Thunderbird, I did this, made a world of difference. I took regular old axle grease and put this in the tracks where the scissors stuff rides. This is nothing special, this is just axle grease. Dead in there. Now, a few up and down cycles and that should get it worked in pretty daggum good. I also see I got a channel on that side. Now I could see where it was greased from the factory. But remember, this is a 96, it's 26 years ago. All that grease is dried up. Get that on. Everywhere I can get some track. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is connect the power, put the window up and down, and I'm going to make sure I get the grease in these tracks good. Alright, so I got the switch motor stuff hooked up. And I got the battery connected. I'm going to try and move the window up. I turned the ignition on. There's no labor at all there. But now that it's up, I'm going to throw in another glove. And I'm going to grease the track down here. Try to get it real good. And some people might think I'm being wasteful here. I've had this can of grease since 2005. And I liberally grease a lot of stuff. So, I don't think I overdo it. That gives me a good access on this top track. Alright. So yeah, like I said, I've noticed that when these motors get repaired, they seem to prematurely fail. And some people say it's because you're using aftermarket, not OEM parts. I really think it's because people just put a new motor in it and don't lube it. I choose to lube mine. There's this hole here now, and seeing these teeth, grease them too. I know what was the point of me putting the glove on in the first place if I'm just going to do this. Alright, so, we got that done. Now the only thing to do is put this door panel back together. Alright, so I just got back from the dollar store. I think I'm going to clean this down real good before I put it back in. I went to the dollar store to get this totally awesome cleaner. I know this is totally awesome because it says so right here on the bottle. So anyway, this is a real good cleaner and it's cheap. I noticed that some of the people that do similar type channels out in the Midwest, they swear by the stuff from Menards. I'd love to try it sometime, but this is Virginia. We don't have Menards. I don't think there's even the Menards within 1,000 miles of here. So anyway, this stuff from the dollar store works great. That already looks a whole lot better. I'm in no way, shape, or form done. Now, I'm going to pick a place out of the way for it to dry in the sun. Alright, so while my door panels are drying, y'all may be wondering what I'm going to do about the switch panels in the door. Certainly, y'all ain't going to leave them all nasty and dingy like this. And certainly with all these electrical switches, I'm not going to go hosing everything off. And you're right on both. I have a plan to clean that. Clorox wipes. And I hope these will do a good enough job. Yeah, cleaning these cars is not my strong suit, nor my passion. If there's anyone around that's running a YouTube channel that likes to go and do a deep clean on cars, I got several I'll let you work on. Now put the vapor barrier back up. Pull it back up where it belongs. And especially if you've got older cars that have been worked on a few times, chances are the old fat tray holder upper things are long gone. That's not a big deal. You don't need anything special. A piece of duct tape will work just fine. And why do I have purple duct tape? Why favorite color is purple? Good reason.